TyJuan, Garbutt. Everybody, raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless mic. Anthony in the back.
Hey, TyJuan, congratulations on winning ACC D Lineman of the Week. What did that mean to you? And do you feel like that's maybe a little bit more of a team award? How do you approach that?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely more of a team award. I can not really do it without, the guys next to me, the yard dogs, trench mile stuff, and just the guys behind me making sure that, I have enough time to even get back there or affect the passer.
You played. You told me afterwards that you played like a dog that hadn't eaten in 3 days. How do you approach? Is that kind of the same mentality you bring to every single game, every single week?
Yeah, I bring that to every single practice, honestly. Like, certain practices, people don't know what's up with me. They're like, dang, Ty seem to be going crazy. But no, just in my own head, I just got to remember, even before the snap, before every play, before I take a rep, just go like this my last one.
Where do you feel like you've improved the most this year in the offseason, in the spring, leading up to this season?
I say it has to be just consistently having that mentality. Technical and fundamentals-wise, just having a full year of Coach Price, being able to coach the whole line, like that helps. He really knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. His resume speaks for it. And I've been one of the guys that's been trying to help other guys come along. So just having the mentality of knowing that if I trust into the system, if I trust what my coach is telling me to do, I know, like, it'll bring the results will happen. So just being able to be one of the veterans and step up and kind of be a leader just more in an intense way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How would you describe CJ and what he brings? And Coach Price said one of the plays that they showed on Sunday to the team was CJ got cut down and he got back up and he made a play. How would you describe him and just what he brings to your defensive line room?
Well, if you want me to describe him, I'll have to say, well, I tell him all the time, I'm like, you got to continue doing that. And I call it crash dummy. And what it means, like, it sounds pretty, like, funny, but what it means is, like, you'll just go give your body up to do it. And he's the type of player that'll do that. CJ's a freak, man. Like, he probably runs around 4 or 5 40-ish, and he can go. So I always try to encourage him because we know what he really could bring. I think we know more than sometimes he knows. So I'm trying to be a guy that makes sure he can always untap that potential that he's filled with.
Middle of the room, Paul.
TyJuan, you guys got to Jurkovec quite a bit with just 4 on Saturday. How much of that was scheme and how much of that was just the 4 of you getting off the ball and going and play?
I'd say it was a lot of both. We've been challenged, and that's just off of just us and our expectations of what we plan to accomplish and what we plan to, get done. And we knew, like, whenever we had 4-on-5 matchups or 4-on-6 matchups, depending if they kept back in the block, we knew we had to, in a way, affect his throwing, affect his timing, because he's a pretty good guy. So we just wanted to make sure up front we really won our one-on-one battles.
Eric in the back and then Andy.
I know Coach mentioned that's simply just one win that happened over the weekend, but can you describe just how complementary the game plan was, the offense complementing the defense and vice versa, and how you guys are looking to build upon that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was a good win, and it's really, our last performance. So we sat there and we put together, I'd say, one of our better performances from just a week ago, as in we cut down on our miscues and we improved on technique and fundamental areas, and, we took care of the football. So as a team, it's not where, we feel like we can be, but, it's just kind of scratching the surface with, cleaning it up and getting back to what we've been trained to do and we've been coached to do.
You talked about the mentality that you guys are trying to have on the defensive line. Is there anything in this defense that Pry has put in that's allowed you to play faster or freer or just, kind of go after the quarterback a little bit harder?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He always likes to just, sit there and not leave the guy back there with the football, as in the QB, comfortable. And I say just with that being the attacking style of defense, the way we play, I say it complements a lot of the guys' skills, especially the guys in my room, because we're not as, I guess you can say, as big as usual, but we're still we have the advantage of being quicker than, the guys across from us, as in the O-linemen. So I say just his attacking style of defense really just, it helps a lot of the guys in my room.
And what was your approach in the offseason? Were there areas specifically that you wanted to get better at in terms of, were you trying to get faster or did certain pass rush moves? What did you work on the most in this offseason?
I say more on like my core strength. What I mean by that is with a lot of rushing the passer, you can have a good move, but sometimes it's staying on your feet. Sometimes it's being able to bend that edge, being able to, dip under that lineman. So just kind of just my whole total body strength, just being able to withstand, not only being like to hold my own in the run game, set a firm edge, but just also when it comes to just the pass game, like being able to take somebody when they have their hands and kind of continue to push them or knock them off me,
When you look at the defense overall through 2 games, it's been pretty good. Better than you thought it would be, as good as you thought it would be going into the season? Anything about it been a pleasant surprise to you?
No, I wouldn't say it'd be a pleasant surprise. I've known who is now actually our head coach now. I've known him since I was younger, and his resume speaks for itself too. So we know just going and watching from all his previous years, just throughout this whole year, from spring all the way till now, just watching all the things that he did in the past before. I knew this defense and just the veterans we have on our side, I knew if we could pick it up, I knew we could go out there and we can be like one of his good defenses that he's coached before in the past.
Is there any part of the defense that maybe has been a pleasant surprise that you weren't too sure about going into the season, that you're like, okay, well, that area is pretty good now too?
Oh, no questions, because everything was new, so we just seen it as we have to go out there and we have to learn, and as soon as you learn, then there should be no question. You got to trust that the guy next to you is doing what he's doing, and we know we can just, as a whole defense, if everybody does their job, we can be a pretty good defense.
Back in the room to Anthony, and then we'll go to Zoom.
TyJuan, you go from an 8 o'clock ACC game to an 11 o'clock FCS opponent. May be an opportunity for some teams to have a little bit of a letdown. How have you guys maybe discussed not letting that happen and kind of keeping the foot on the gas pedal, so to speak?
Well, it's all about worrying about ourselves. Like, there's still so much areas to improve, still so much areas to grow. So, we just have to go in there and take care of the little things, kind of like we did the week before, just build on the things we know we can do and we know we're capable of, and just go out there and play together, try to play a well-executed team game in all 3 phases.
Let's go out to Zoom.
Okay, we'll use the raise hand feature again. Can we start with David Teal, please?
TyJuan, you said that with the new staff that everything was new for you guys on defense, but how much did having JC back coaching the D line help with that transition as you guys adjusted to the new schematics?
Oh, having Coach Price back, it definitely helped a lot. Just because of just like the character he is and the guy he is. He loves this program. He loves everything about the school. And just having a guy that that's been in your shoes before, that has kind of helped start, which is such a excellent defensive standard of this school that's been in the last two and a half decades. He knows what he's talking about as well, just from his resume for what he was at his previous school, being defensive coordinator there. He breaks it down so simple that guys like me who's been in a few different schemes can kind of understand. It's like, wow, that's an easy way to how to get that job done on that play. So I'd say just being able to have just a full year of him coaching all of us, but having him just the last football season too, is just easy for guys that's been there and that's played a lot of football to get adjusted and also understand like the new things we were learning this past off season.
And then once he was named the head coach, how much research did you do on Brent Pride and his Penn State defenses?
Oh, I didn't really have to research it that much because, like I said earlier, he recruited me when I was like a 14, 15-year-old boy. Same thing with Coach Price. I've had a relationship with those guys, obviously not as exclusive after I signed and committed here, but it's just that those guys kind of could see the maturity of 8 years ago what this guy and what this kid's done. So I didn't really do my research, but I'd say from my former teammates and former friends around my area, like Yetur, he played there and he had one of the best seasons he's ever had in Pride's defense. I just knew that, you know, he just produced players, and I knew he produced great results just in that, which is another good league, the Big Ten. So I already knew what he was about before he really came, and then when he got announced, I was pretty fired up and excited about that.
Thank you.
Can we go to Hank and maybe one more on Zoom? Hank, could you repeat
Pride
the
was
question,
talking
please?
about the play you made. Yeah, Coach Pride was talking about showing 5 like highlight plays of the team when you guys review film of the game as a team. What's it like when one of those plays is one you made?
To be actually funny and to be completely honest, I don't think any of the plays he showed was one I made, because those aren't the type of plays we show. We show just having relentless effort, having incredible, just giving yourself all for the team and just, you know, doing what you're trained to do. But sometimes just, and we like to say, just putting your stuff in there, just like go back, I'll reference one of my position mates, like the CJ play. He got chipped, knocked on the ground. The quarterback started running, and he gets up, and he's about, if whoever made the initial tackle, he's helping him assist on the tackle while jumping on his back. And he did all that 5-second span, and he just, you know, he didn't think of it. He thought, oh, I have to go get the ball. And that's just, you know, that's the type of plays we highlight, just guys giving themselves and giving their all for this team.
All right, and conversely, when you're in the position room and they show a play that you dread seeing again because maybe you missed an assignment or were penalized, what's that like for you, and kind of how do the other guys in the room react to that?
Oh, no, because, you know, we keep it real professional, and, you know, like, it's never going to be perfect. And that's the thing. Just playing it for so long, I understand that. And I know just the guys that's played a lot this year, they understand that. So it's never really anything personal. You have to take it as a learning experience just to prove that even when you feel like you did everything you can do, there's always something you can get better at.
Thank you.
Last call on Zoom. Okay, thank you, Travis.
Last one here in the room, Mark.
Yeah, I was curious. Not only are you playing an 0-2 Wofford team, but they have not scored a point this year. Do you talk to your fellow defensive players and go, okay, you know, I want to see a shutout here. We need to have, from a pride standpoint, you know, we need to shut them out too?
I mean, you want to shut out any opponent, and I understand what you mean when you, like, break down the statistics and you say it like that. But really, we're just still just focusing on, like, being the best we can be. And if that comes with a shutout, then so be it. I feel as long as we can continue to build momentum and just, you know, stack days and stack games on just having better and better performances, that's really what I look forward to, and I'm really hoping for an improvement.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, TyJuan.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.